The dark night pandemic is upon us. Okay. Hi, everyone. Right, if you haven't been here before, this is a creative meditation that I do. I've done it for the collective, okay? And I collect universal messages. And this is all about the state of humanity as it is at the moment, okay? And what's actually happening. So, essentially, this is all about the recycling of humanity's energy in a way, okay? Right, you've obviously noticed, the world is getting crazier and crazier as we go along. Each day, you hear more things that just aren't right, okay? On every level. It's gone pretty much insane, right? So, this has got a lot to do with all the people who, chose the dark side, right? That's one lot. Where people know it's wrong and they choose to do it anyway, right? They got other people, groups of people who do seriously wrong things, but they don't seem to even know that there's anything wrong with it. You got other people who, there's a group here I can't talk about because here in the UK, right, although I'm in Scotland, we're still ruled by England basically, and there's a law that we're not allowed to have free speech. So if I say certain things, I'll actually get arrested and put in jail, right? So some of this I can't actually talk about, so I'm going to have to beat around the bush a little bit and try and get around it somehow, okay? And none of what I'm saying ever will be hatred, okay? None of it. I'm not about that whatsoever. I'm just trying to explain what is going on so that when you all keep seeing, hearing, or experiencing crazy things that are hard to deal with, you'll have like a big picture idea of what's going on, right? I'm hoping that will help you in some way. So basically there's something to do with, like, obviously there's brainwashing, right? That's always been, but it's like heavy on the brainwashing. Okay, that's the people who rule the place. The media and all that, okay? Obviously social media is like the worst for influencing people in the wrong way, right? So we've got a lot of brainwashing going on. That's to cause chaos, okay, within you, or to get groups of people to go and cause chaos. There's something to do with hypnosis, right? But I'm not quite sure what kind of hypnosis this is, because I don't feel like it's a therapist one-on-one type of hypnosis that can be used for certain things. It's not that, right? I actually did look up to see if you could do hypnosis with a frequency, like a mass hypnosis, but according to Google AI or whatever, right, that's the only person I can ask. Well, thing I can ask. It says you can't mass hypnotize people with a frequency, right? But I'm picking up something along those lines, okay? I suppose that is quite like brainwashing in a way. So it's like hypnosis, brainwashing. It's like trying to get people as vacuous as possible. We've all seen that, right? Also, the dark energy that's been trying to get people absolutely and completely in their egos, which it has actually succeeded in doing that to a lot of people, right? And it's like there's all sorts of pitfalls like gambling, right? Manipulation, people who know how to absolutely manipulate people. And that could also be on a mass scale, considering we have like influencers on social media with, so many people who listen to them, and they could be steering them all in the wrong direction. It's like they've developed pride in people and a false sense of self, right? And like cutting off their connection to their divinity, their spirit, okay? And this, I'm seeing this like a wheel, right, on a crazy roller coaster. And that pretty much describes humanity and where it's going, right? Like on a roller coaster, out of control. Okay. I'm also seeing that like a target. They're targeting everyone on Earth, right? It also reminds me of a net, like a butterfly net type thing. You know, the men in white coats coming to take a lot of people away. I was going to say metaphorically speaking, but it's metaphorical and literal, okay? There's lots of people obviously losing their minds, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, losing their minds. It's designed that way though, okay? By the, I was going to say humans that rule Earth. That's debatable. Right, so the dark ones, with all the manipulation, all their tricks, games, it's come to a point now. Oh man, right? I just got like some sort of biblical reference, right? I'm not religious at all, have not read the Bible, right? But I don't know if it's Sodom and Gomorrah. It was like some place, it's like a city or something full of sin. And then I think it's Archangel Gabriel comes down and blows a trumpet or something, blows it to hell, right? Destroys it because it got so bad. It had to be destroyed. We're kind of at that point now, okay? And I could be wrong about the Sodom and Gomorrah thing, but some city in the Bible that gets blown to smithereens, right? Because it was like diabolical, basically. That's where we're at now. So, universal energies are saying it's time for humanity's energy and everything to be recycled, okay? So, all this darkness, manipulation, hypnosis, brainwashing, pride, ego, pretty much all the 7 deadly sins, okay? All of that kind of stuff, all the craziness that should not be happening. Humanity is lost. So, it's getting recycled, okay? That's the thing I can't talk about. But that in itself, I don't want to put clues towards it because it's including other people who aren't included. I can't talk about it. Okay, mixed up people, right? Who think they should be something else. They're not bad people, they've been brainwashed in the worst possible way, okay? But basically, all of this, if I'm getting it right, Sodom and Gomorrah type stuff, okay? it's coming to an end. It could take, when it comes to time, I have no idea, right? This sort of thing is the story of what's happening, but it could take years, okay? But what I got looking at this point, because this is where all of this goes to, right? And I heard fractured light, so I looked it up, okay, and I wrote it down so I could read it to you because I didn't remember it. But this is the good point, okay, about how this gets cleared up and recycled. Fractured light breakdowns and wounds are not punishments. They are the literal fissures through which higher awareness and deep transformation enter the soul. A single blinding truth is often too much for the human mind to bear. Fracturing the light breaks down divine energy into digestible, varied lessons of growth, empathy, and resilience. Okay, so what we get from this is, as bad as all this is, if everyone realised how wrong they were and the choices they made, and they had an epiphany about it all at once, it would just blow their minds, right? That might actually be happening to some people and they're not going to make it. Okay. A lot of people wouldn't make it. Innocent people too, but for some reason, some of us are protected, right? And it seems there's some innocents who I would see that way, right? Not that I understand everything in the universe, but like some people end up getting taken away from this earth, and it seems so wrong and unfair. Like, what could they have done to deserve it, right? Nothing. I don't know about that. Just lost my train of thought. Yeah, right. So, this is happening in increments, which means it will take a while, okay? So, all of these people who have been brainwashed, misled, maybe they're the ones doing the dark stuff. They will get, some of them who have been misled or they got that way through environmental factors, right? It's not necessarily their fault. One thing led to another through their life and they ended up doing dark things, right? That's understandable because it's environmental. But they can now have a chance to change, right? So they'll get little fractures coming through, like little realizations happening, so that they can then, the light can come in, right? And once it seeps in, then it'll go to their mind and they'll start to, well, see the light basically, okay? That will happen over time and then things will start to change. Obviously, while this happens, it seems like the light side, if you want to put it like that, right? The light side and the dark side. The light side are now breaking down some who had got to the dark side, and they're bringing them over into the light side. But it takes time and you need to be gentle with it, right? Well, you don't need to do anything. Well, unless you're like a spiritual leader or something like that, okay? Then you do it gently. Because you don't want to make people fall to pieces, right? It's like a step-by-step thing. But they do have a lot to go through, obviously. So there's going to be a lot of people experiencing dark night of the soul, okay? So in that case, it means for the rest of us in the light, who are empaths, highly sensitive and all that, right? You might feel a lot of darkness because, I mean, a lot more darkness than you feel already. Because a lot, like there's a mass, you know how you get like a mass awakening, right? This is like a mass dark night of the soul, which will then lead to another mass awakening, but that takes time. So during the mass dark night of the soul for all these individuals, right, you might feel that the earth has tipped into more darkness. And you might get worried about that, okay? And thinking, oh, it's way too dark. Maybe you think the light side is getting overshadowed or something, but it's not, right? I'm just explaining you might be feeling extra darkness, but it's for a good reason, because these people need to go through that to get to the light, but they need to do it in little increments, okay, so that they can manage it, because it's going to be hard for all these people, because a lot of them are, well, it doesn't matter what age you are, but the older you are, the harder it'll be, right? Because of all the brainwashing that's well ingrained in there. And then they'll have to be realising what they've done and how it's affected people. It'll hit them hard, okay? So I'm just here to really say you might actually feel a lot more darkness on the planet over the next while, maybe few years. I don't know how long it is, okay? But it's for a good reason, and when we find these people, you can help them, okay? Because they just need guidance. A lot of times, obviously, if you've been through it before, you know, Dark Night of Soul was a very, very solitary thing to go through. But if you have a voice, you know, and maybe if you've got a platform or something, or whatever it is you do, you might be able to reach them, okay? And actually help them through their wee journey there. Well, it'll be a big journey, but help them through it, yeah. So stay strong, stay balanced, be patient. And when you keep hearing insane things happening, know that the place is getting cleared out, okay? I think I'll just leave it there. I'll resume the board readings and get back to a bit of normality, okay? For the next one. Right, thank you for listening, and I'll see you all soon. Right, bye.